Hey guys, I'm Chewy Mew, but my real name is Eric, and welcome back to another Chewy Mew review, where I basically review my figures and stuff. Today we're looking at the 2002 movie Spider-Man transforms into the wrestler figure. So this guy, unfortunately, I no longer have the rubber mask, which he had a rubber mask you'd put on. He had like rubber pants, rubber tank top looking thing that you put over top. You could swap these arms. You could take these legs off here, and you could replace, like, it looked like tennis shoe looking kind of thing. And then you'd put pants over top. You put like a tank top looking thing over top of that. You'd plug in other arms. Then you'd put on that mask, and he would look like the human spider from Spider-Man 1 when he had the that wrestling suit when he fought Bonesaw. Unfortunately, because I got this when I was little, I got it brand new, I think at KB Toys. Unfortunately, all the parts, I either lost them, or since they're rubber, they ripped and I couldn't use them anymore. But it's still a phenomenal figure. It doesn't have as much articulation as like the other figures, but that's okay because it had a really awesome gimmick. It had a really cool thing that you could do with it. The legs are crazy loose, the head's kind of loose, torso's not that loose. The arms aren't either, because the arms kept falling out. So I put these little glue dots in, which I talked about before, to keep the arms from falling out, because I would like move the figure like this and the arms would fall. But either way, let's take a look at his articulation. So the head is on a pretty good ball joint, a lot of range of motion there. Can look up a pretty good amount, can look down, can't really look down, it kind of just is him looking forward. The head tilts left and right, and obviously rotates all the way around, that crazy good ball joint. His rotation here in the waist doesn't have any upper torso movement. That's because it would mess with the plastic or the rubber. The arms rotate all the way around. This one also has a web shooting hand, which the wrist also broke, so I can't move the web shooting hand. This other hand here rotates all the way around. He has rotation here in the upper bicep, I think. The arms go all the way up on both sides. And single bend in the elbow. Single bend in the elbow, and it's no big deal because, the gimmick, if it had multiple bends, it'd probably get cut like the joint. Sometimes the rubber would get caught in the joints, so having two, you'd potentially grab it and pinch it and it would rip off. Spider-Man can do the splits, but, I expect that. Legs kick up a pretty good amount, and this leg also here, it broke. This figure suffered a lot of damage. Sadly, even like all the webs are missing, all the paint scratched off, the face is pretty scratched too. Actually, it doesn't even look much like Tobey Maguire anymore because how much the paint has faded, how much the, it's not focusing. Put my hand here. Oh, it's not focusing, but either way, it looks like his eyes are soulless, they're like almost white looking, he has no eyebrows, his chin's kind of scratched, the nose paint is scratched. Scratches all over the head. I did actually go back and repaint the hair because it looked like his hair was like white, so I painted that to make it look not white. He also has bend in the knee, rotation here in the boot, and a pretty good bend in the ankle. So yeah, so this figure, me and one of my friends named Jesse, when we were little, we would get like all of our Spider-Man toys together and we'd play we pretty much played like Sam Raimi movies. Like we basically played we played Spider-Man 1. Got some super glue here. We basically played Spider-Man 1, we would use, of course we'd use this awesome Green Goblin that I basically show in every single review. We'd use him, and we'd use that other awesome Spider-Man out of reach. Actually, you know what? I'll bring him still. We'd use these two guys. This would be the Spider-Man at the start, and when he loses his mask, he'd become this guy. And then when he would get battle ravaged, he'd become this one. Then, after we'd play Spider-Man 1, we'd play Spider-Man 2. We basically would play the whole movie out, also using our two Mary Janes. And unfortunately, hate to say it, I actually don't own the Spider-Man 2 Doc Ock. I don't have the movie Doc Ock, but my friend did. Jesse did, so he would use, we'd use his Doc Ock, and we'd finish Spider-Man 2, then we go on to Spider-Man 3, and I had Sandman, Venom, and Harry. He did have a black suit Spider-Man, which I was kind of jealous about. There was a couple times where I thought, kind of wanted to steal it from him, but no, he was my best friend, I didn't want to do that to him. And so I would just use, my comic book black suit Spider-Man that I showed in the previous video, The thing is, he didn't have as many figures as I did. I have a lot of figures. I was spoiled as a kid because, you know, I'm only child, so I had that luxury of, you know, getting spoiled. That's how I had so many figures and stuff. Got most of them as a kid. Before, like, you know, I could even work or anything. So most of them, like, my mom would get for me, and I'm so glad she did. Like, so many awesome figures, so many awesome memories of, like, my favorite comic book characters. Primarily just, like, Spider-Man characters. But yeah, we played so much in the backyard. Then after we did Spider-Man 3, we would pretend like we would do like our own Spider-Man 4. And the villain would be like the Lizard and Mysterio and, you know, a bunch of stuff. Eventually we went to, I think, like Spider-Man 18, where that was the last one where Norman Osborn, the Green Goblin, came back. And, you know, just a bunch of crazy fun adventures. And he really liked the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. He loved that series. So did I. He was like, I think he's like 4 or 5 years younger than me. I haven't seen him in a few years, but we had so much fun playing with those figures. You know, he's definitely one of my best friends. But either way, guys, that's gonna be all for this review. If you enjoyed it, you know, leave a like. It really helps out. Let me know what you think about this figure. Let me know what you think about other figures too. Let me know what you think about these three guys. These three guys go together greatly. I do plan to review more Raimi figures. I don't have too many more. I think I maybe have like, I have like 5, maybe 6 more, but either way, or no, I think like 5 or 6, I don't know, who knows, you'll see them in future reviews. Let me know, you guys, or well, you know, Spidey Fan 2000, you know, told Spidey Fan 2002, told me he prefers this one over this one. I personally prefer this one just because it looks awesome, but both of these look amazing. This guy, when he was in his prime, before all this damage he took, he looked awesome too. Like, really good looking figure. But either way, that's gonna be all for this review. You know, leave a like. Let me know what you think about this figure. Bye.